Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you so much for joining us today here at the San Francisco market. I want to thank Ambassador Hillman, Kirsten, for moderating today's discussion. Now, around the table we have people from agriculture, from tech, from government, from universities, from Canada and the United States. People who grow food, people who distribute food, and people who are thinking innovatively about how to get the food to kitchen tables, school lunchrooms, restaurants, wherever people need to eat, and how to do it efficiently and, importantly, effectively and at lower costs. This is an important discussion. I know it's why many of you traveled, some of you very long distance to be here today. But I want to give a special thanks to the Canadian agri-tech leaders who came a fair distance but are driving innovation in this sector, and I know we'll have a lot to add to our conversation. Bringing together tech innovators, experts in supply chains and logistics, along with producers and people who are thinking about how we're making sure we're supporting food insecure folks, and recognizing the reality of higher grocery prices right across North America and around the world is really important. Because we see events driving up the cost of food around the world, whether it's climate change, which is damaging crops, changing growing seasons, reducing yields, and disrupting supply chains. We're seeing international events like Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, which has included a devastating blockade of global grain sources that's denying food to the world, especially in places in the global south threatened with food insecurity. And we also know that people around the world are going hungry, and people in the middle class are feeling real pressure at the checkout counter. So we've been taking action at home in Canada. We sent a grocery rebate to millions of people who need support. We've called on the country's largest grocers to stabilize prices, and we're holding them to account, looking at ways to strengthen Canada's Competition Act so consumers are always getting a fair choice. But we know people are also worried about continuing to get and afford nutritious food. So it's in this context that we're all here, to look at how we can lower costs for consumers. In Canada, we take a lot of pride in growing the crops and raising the livestock that feed the world. I know here in California you are incredibly proud, and rightly so, of the abundant fresh food you grow in places like the Salinas Valley. So let's partner all of this with the innovative mindset of tech leaders from both Canada and Silicon Valley. Ask questions about how we can build more resilient supply chains, rethink logistics, strengthen trade for producers, and find cheaper ways to grow more nutritious food. Pour lutter contre la hausse du prix des aliments, on doit réfléchir à la question sous plusieurs angles. Les gens ne devraient pas se demander s'ils vont être capables de nourrir leur famille, pas dans des endroits où on produit tant d'aliments. The reality is people are challenged right now on a whole bunch of different levels. They see global events impacting them in their daily lives, in the grocery store down the street. They see pressures like inflation and interest rates coming to challenge them, housing crises at various levels across the continent, international events and climate change. A lot of reasons people get anxious, and when people get anxious, they tend to really get pessimistic and withdraw from engaging in our democracy and in our positive future that we're trying to build. Families that can't feed their kids, can't put food on the table, lead to instability and insecurity in every other part of our lives. We know that good, affordable, nutritious food is a building block for success, and we have the kinds of innovation at the farm around the delivery, around the logistics, around the innovation from AI to clean tech that's driving the kinds of solutions we need more of, and making sure while we're doing it that everyone is benefiting from across socioeconomic success levels, because everyone deserves a real and fair chance to put clean and good food on the table and grow a better future for themselves. That's, I know, what we're going to get into today, and I'm really, really happy to be able to hear from so many of you who have so many innovative solutions you've been working on. So with that, I'm happy to pass it back to Kirsten to moderate the discussion, and we'll try and hear from as many people as possible. Merci beaucoup.
Terrific. Thank you.